My father was a brother, a father, and a friend. I'm both happy and saddened today, in that today my father's death is celebrated in heaven and mourned here on earth. I would like to offer my condolences to Ken Zemer, Kayla Zemer, his closest friends, Greenie, Rock, and Mike Fields. Lastly, I would like to offer my condolences to all of his brothers and his sister. My father was a great, great man. Many people knew him as the man who was the life of the party, the life of the room, and the life that made life enjoyable. Though Dad's physical life has ended, his inspiration for us to live life as he did will continue forever. My father often got the wrong end of quite a few situations in which he was not at fault, but Dad would not let this get to him. He would go on throughout the day without carrying it with him. The way my father looked at life was like this. When God throws you lemons, make spiked lemonade and invite all your friends. My father was a planter in that he planted the seed of life into everyone he came into contact with. I see many of you in the room knew my father and have many stories. My mother Kim, my sister Kayla, and all of his brothers and sisters and all of his friends. I ask you, what do you remember most of my father? Is it that he was a kind man, a funny man, a hardworking man, a talented man? Or maybe it's none of these things. Maybe the thing that you remember most about my father was his way of life and the way he carried himself. And he never seemed to meet anyone that he didn't automatically know as a friend. I have heard many stories pertaining to my father and his way of life, but no story I have found pertains to it as much as this. Bush, or Mr. David Kaleli, once took my father to a house with a bunch of ex-cons, drug dealers, and just downright crooks. Bush had to leave for a short period of time and left my father there. Meanwhile, Bush is thinking that he's going to come back and find my dad being beaten up, mugged, shot, or something along those lines. But Bush comes back to the house expecting the worst, and what does he see? He sees my father playing a card game, screaming at the top of his lungs at all these different ex-cons and crooks, and just having a great time. Not only did my dad not get killed that day, but he was making friends with the most unlikely of people. The point that I'm trying to make is this. My father doesn't have prejudices, nor does he have hatred. He is the epitome of life and what life stands for. He could take any situation and turn it into something fun. My father was filled full of worldly knowledge. One of my favorite quotes of all time actually came from my father. He said, "If you are going to be dumb, you better be smart about it." This quote got me through most of my teenage years, and a few years afterwards for that matter, and it shaped the person that I am today. My father taught me many things: how to be trustworthy, how to work, how to be a respectful human being, but most of all, he taught me what it is to love myself as I love others. Without this, you will never be happy, and my father knew this. And if you ever talked with my father, you instantly knew that he was a happy man with a happy-go-lucky attitude. And he just loved to have fun, no matter where he was or what he was doing. Dad knew how to make any situation entertaining and brought life to all and every situation that he incurred. I remember we were sitting in the bleachers at my sister's soccer game, or the bleachers for her track meet, or the bleachers for any other sports that she partook in. And we would make bets that one of the women would either fall over on a hurdle or someone would trip on the soccer field. And he always had a way of making these little life adventures more than just an event, but something to remember. But I bring you that story to give you this story. The thing that we would bet were called anytime push-ups. These are push-ups that you owe him if you lose. during any time that he wishes for it to be made. This made life interesting in that he would ask for me or whoever owed him these push-ups. So this meant you'd owe him a push-up anytime he saw fit. I remembered that I was playing football and I heard something being called from the stands. It was my name, and go figure, there's my father calling my name with his hand up. That was my signal to do 5 push-ups on the football field. He found a way to make life fun, and that is what I like most about my father. And I will always remember how he treated every situation. And I urge you to try to find little things that make every situation fun for you as well. My father was like a teacher, in that he taught everyone how to live life happily. He was a comedian in that he made everyone laugh, either with him or at him. And lastly, Dad was a monkey, tree-climbing, golfing son of a gun. If there was one thing that my father was good at, 1, it was climbing trees, and 2, it was playing golf. He loved playing golf with those that he loved, and he also loved playing with his friends. His best memories, I recall, were on the golf course during Michigan, in which we all had a family reunion, and we got to play together, and the different times that he was on the golf course with his friends and usually drinking. There is one thing that I will say to all of you, and that is, Dad would be mad at each and every one of you today for the sole purpose that we all know Dad loves golf, and not one of us found a way to bury him on a golf course. So how long do we live? We only have one life, and my father lived it well. If there is one thing my father would want all of you to do, it is this. He wants everyone to live and enjoy life instead of worrying about everything in life. My dad's life was that of a simple man. He knew that happiness did not lie with material possessions, but in those people that you surround yourself with. Dad always put hard work into life, but did not work hard at life. Dad was always very easygoing and easy to get along with. Anyone who has ever met my father always said the exact same thing. He is so full of energy, life, and he is always pleasant to be around. Dad was everything I aspired to be in life. He could be broke, injured, out of work, and his dog could have died even. And he would still have a great attitude and outlook. It never got to him. This trait is what I admire most about my father. I have met many people, but no one I've ever known could handle life as well as my father could. For this reason, my father has been my role model for years and will be for years to come. My father loved all of you, and if he was looking down, I'm sure there are 3 things he would say. 1, do not be sad, but live life and have fun doing it. Make time for those you love and treat every situation as an event. 2, he wants 5 push-ups. And number 3, he would tell us that he loves us and wishes all of us the best, even in our darkest hours. I admire you, love you, and miss you. But you will live on within all of us forever.